speak up. All right, Shalom. Salam. Hey, can you check your phone and see if the live, the volumes of it?
Kind of. Yeah, let's see. Didn't even pop up on here yet. Let's see. There's a new one. Let me see.
All right.
There's a new one. Let me see.
All right. Yeah, it popped up online.
You want
Can you check this,
Okay, there we go.
All right, just check if the sound's good.
Okay.
We live?
Yeah, that kind of.
All right, come on. All right. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, we're the brothers from the GMS Atlanta Church. Coming back at you again live. First and foremost, giving all glory, honor, and praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Giving double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. Today we're just going to get into various topics, things that have been on each and one of our spirits, the things that have been getting pushed by the apostles and elders, how the spirit's moving right now, okay? And if y'all brothers got precepts to start off with, we can jump right into it. But the fact of the matter is, there's a lot of things going around, prophecy-wise, things are happening. The chip is getting pushed more and more. Character building is getting pushed more and more. Being positive in this thing is getting pushed more and more as the day approaches. Okay, our mind has to be single. Okay, meaning we have to mark the prize, which Paul was talking about in the book of Philippians, the third chapter. All right, being another thing that's being pushed a lot is trimming your ways, man. Every day you should become a better and better Hebrew Israelite. Okay, toward Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, well, in His eyes. Okay, don't be one of them niggas a part of the million-man march down to the DC, the DC steps of the Capitol, man. Don't be that Hebrew Israelite, man. Be the one who pushes Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's name in all truth and sincerity, okay? You got a precept, brother?
Come, this is James 5:8.
Come.
Be also patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh.
That's right. It says, be also patient, establish your heart. Okay? That goes with the Colossians, being rooted. Okay? Being established is firmly set into something. Okay? Being established is being stubborn. Okay? If you're stubborn about something, nobody can tell you this or that. If someone doesn't believe it, then I don't care, bro. I know it's real. That's you being established in the faith. Reread it, brother.
Come, this is James 5:8. Be ye also patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh. That's
right. Be patient. That's why the scriptures tell you in Revelation, I want to say the 2nd chapter, 2:25, to hold fast until I come. And if someone's telling you to hold fast, that means they're telling you to wait. Meaning you got to be patient until that person comes back. Okay? And that person is Yahweh Shai. So we have to stay patient and diligent in our doings when He's coming. But the time, it says like the scriptures say, the Lord draweth nigh. Meaning He's close. Okay? I'm going to see if I can pull up that word nigh. Or draweth nigh. Okay? In the Greek, it's in gizo. All right? Which means to bring near. All right? To join one thing to another. That's right. And what's being joined one to another? The bride and the bridegroom. Okay? It says to draw or come near to approach. That's right. So when it says the Lord is nigh, the Lord is approaching, man. And it's coming real soon. That's why a lot of the scriptures say Yahweh Shem Yahushai is at hand, man. Okay? So you should need to be patient in this, you need to be diligent, and you need to be established. You need to, that's why the scriptures say, examine thyself whether you be in the faith. You got to examine yourself whether you be established or not, man. Did you have something, brother?
Kind of part of that establishment is doing the will of the Most High too. Mm-hmm. You know, because your heart goes back to your mind. You know, you constantly occupying yourself in Yahweh Shem Yahushai because He draweth nigh. We can see the end times. We in the end times. You know, it's here. You know, we can see the prophecies every day. There's something popping up every day in America. You know. And through the spirit, we can see it. So that's why we keep preaching the word. That's why we keep doing videos. That's why we keep going on the highways and byways. That's why we continue to be brotherly to one another, because He draweth nigh.
That's right.
Con, that's all I have right there.
Con, you got something, brother?
Con, I got something.
Go ahead.
This is Ephesians 6, and I'll start at 13. Mm-hmm. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day.
That's right. Can you start at 10, Babakusha?
Come, I'm going to go up to 10. This is Ephesians 6, verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of His might.
That's right. Be strong in the Lord and the power of His might. All right, go ahead.
I'm going to continue on 11. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
See, there goes it. There's another synonym right there. Okay, a synonym is a word that's alike another word, but the word is stand. Okay, all right. It says put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that you may be able to stand, that you may be established. Okay, firmly rooted. Okay, against the wiles of the devil. The wiles meaning the trickeries. All right, you see Wile E. Coyote. He was always trying to put some trap against the roadrunner, man. Okay, but with us, we have the whole armor of the Most High on, meaning we're established in the faith. And what did it say in verse 10? That we're strong in the power of His might. Okay, so therefore we're established, and we can stand up against those things that the devil throws at us. And what the devil is speaking about is the so-called self-proclaimed white man. Okay, that's the devil. So we can stand up against his little follies and his stupid-ass actions, man. You know?
His carnal weapons.
His carnal weapons. Because the Lord going to lift up a standard for the ones who have been established in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And with full courage. You can go ahead, brother.
Continue on. Mm-hmm. This is Ephesians 6, verse 12. 6 and 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood,
right,
but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. That's right,
against spiritual wickedness in high places. Sorceries, wizards, warlocks, okay? You know, witches of the Edomite race, which is the so-called white people race, okay? If their bloodline goes back to it, I'm gonna say it like that. All right? If you're an Edomite, we get that clear, man. All right? It's no color thing. You're gonna get it clear. If you're an Edomite, you're going into slavery. If you're Edomite, you're getting destroyed. And we are to stand up and put the armor of the Most High on, so we can stand up and be established and firm against the wiles of the Edomites. Okay? All right? Because it says the principalities and the powers, meaning we're dealing with a different dimension. We can care less about an AK-47 or an M4 weapon. We know that can't do nothing against us. That's why the scriptures say what? That no weapon, was that, I think Isaiah 54, I want to say, which says no weapon formed against me shall prosper. So forget Forget Esau's carnal tanks and airplanes and drones and bombs and missiles and forget all that, man. He's going to destroy himself with that. He should be more worried about his own weapons than we about his. Okay? We shouldn't be worried about that thing, man. But we're fighting the spiritual battle. Okay? And I think it's Isaiah 54, if you could get it. You can keep going, but reread verse 12.
Okay, this is Ephesians 6 and 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Go ahead and get to Isaiah 54.
Come, this is Isaiah 54 and 17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper.
No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. That's right. That's why we understand Ephesians 6 and 12 so well. Because we understand that these other little carnal levels can't do shit to us, man.
Come.
As long as we have the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai working in our favor, then why we gotta worry about that stupid little petty gun that you got in your hand? I don't give a damn if it's a laser gun. I don't give a damn if it's a gun that can disintegrate a whole being. It can't do nothing against me according to the scriptures.
Come.
You know?
Come.
Is that something?
If I could say too, because if Esau was so big and bad, why is he letting the chariots come through to earth? Because they're coming from a whole other dimension. You know, don't the scriptures say the Lord's not gonna we're not gonna meet him as a man, you know? You're not gonna meet him as a man. He's gonna be in his angelic body, his perfect body, you know? And he's coming back to destroy America off the face of the earth, you know?
That's right. So what do we gotta be scared of? You know? The scriptures tell us to be of good courage. It commands us to be of good courage and not to be afraid in Joshua 1 and 9. So what do we got to be afraid of? We have the ultimate, omnipotent, undefeated, undisputed, heavyweight champ on our side, man. Yahweh Shem Shai. So what do we got to be scared of? And when you read the scriptures already say that we won. We got the victory. But we just got to hold on to what we got. Like I said in Revelation 2 and 25, it says, hold fast until I come. Hold fast unto what? The crown that's already been given to you. You just got to hold on to it. You know, don't be the one to let go of your crown. The scripture said, don't let no man take your crown, man. If it's saying let no man take your crown, that means you already have it in your possession.
Come.
So don't let no man take your crown, man. You know, so what's to be scared of? If the scriptures clearly say, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Keep reading that, brother.
Good, I'm going to continue reading. It says, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment, thou shalt condemn. Every
tongue that rises against me in judgment, thou shalt condemn. That's us in the highways and byways. We come in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, and other people try to come in. It's a confrontation. Okay, it's a debate, it's an argument, but we contend, but we win every single battle. Every single battle, when you put it in quotations. Because that's light work to us, because we got the Spirit of the Lord on our side. Okay, and we confound them, you know, and maybe convince them, like the book of Titus says. All right? With sound doctrine and speech, you can convince the gainsayers. Okay? So, is that it on Isaiah 54?
I'm going to continue reading. In verse 17, it says, this is the heritage of the servants of the Lord.
That's right.
And,
go ahead.
And their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord.
That's right. And the righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. Whole Proverbs chapter, I'm going to say 8 and 20. Keep going and hold that Isaiah 54 too. But keep going in Ephesians 6. And shalom to the Akim on the comment board. I see you.
Shalom.
Yahweh Shem Shai, Ba'ashem Kakodash Barakathum.
Yahweh Shem Shai, Ba'ashem Kakodash Barakathum.
All right, go ahead, brother.
All right, come. This is Ephesians 6 and 13. I started 13. This is Ephesians 6 and 13. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, Yahweh Shem Shai, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand.
That's right. So that it reiterates itself right there. Who wrote this? Paul. Paul is reiterating himself to the Ephesians, the house of the church of the Ephesians, of Ephesus, okay? He's reiterating to them to put the whole armor of the Most High on again, because he said it in verse 11, all right? It says that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day. What evil day? Jacob's trouble. You know, what is that? Jeremiah 30:7, Daniel, the 12th chapter, you know, Zephaniah. There's a plethora of scriptures showing that a day of trouble is going to come to the 2/3 of the Israelites, man. Or to all the Israelites, according to 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. They're going to run on to them who fear the Lord. I think it's 2nd Ezra 16 and like 76 or something like that. 73. I can't get it off the top of my head. You know? But go ahead, brother.
This is Ephesians 6, verse 14. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth.
That's right. Have your loins girt about with truth, man. Did not Yahweh Shai tell Job to gird up thy loins like a man? All right, so gird up your loins with the truth, with the belt, or the belt of truth, man. Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you one. All right, I'm going to start from the top again. This is Ephesians 6, verse 14. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness.
The breastplate of righteousness. So you got your little belt on, and you got to put your armor on your chest, man, so you can bang your chest. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, brother.
I'm going to tell you one. And I'm going to tell you one to 15. And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace.
That's right. We're arming ourselves. Paul is telling you to arm yourself spiritually. Okay? He's telling you to arm yourself spiritually. Okay? So it says your feet. All right? He's not leaving one body part out, man. Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you one to 16. Above all, taking the shield of faith.
That's how you know faith is one of the most pivotal things. If you don't have faith and belief, you don't have nothing. If you don't have faith and belief, who do you fear? Because having fear in something means you believe it exists. Simple as that. Okay? And we don't fear the Edomites and their power because it don't exist to us. The only power that exists is Yahweh. You know? Bring the precept out.
This is 1 Corinthians 15 and 57. But thanks be to Yahweh, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
See, that's the spirit, man. Because what did I just say earlier? That the scriptures already tell us that we got the victory. Reread that. That's a beautiful precept.
This is 1 Corinthians 15, 57. But thanks be to Yahweh, which giveth us the victory.
Which giveth us the victory. Just like he gives us faith, gives us fear, gives us hope, gives us patience, gives us temperance, which is the same thing, long suffering. You know, gives us diligence. Okay, but he gave us the victory. Go ahead.
Through our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
Through Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? The reason Yahweh Shai came on the planet Earth to do what he did was to give us the victory. We conquered death. All you got to do is hold on it until the end. Hold fast till I come. Blessed is he. Well, I was about to say, I was thinking, blessed is he who readeth. But also in Psalms 116 it says, just loosely paraphrasing, it's pretty much it's a delight in the eyes of the Lord to see the death of his saints, because you're supposed to keep this thing even unto death. You know? But even so, you got the victory. We already won. Just hold on to it. Keep going, brother.
God, and I'm going to tell you one. And this is 1 Corinthians 15 and 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord.
That's the spirit. So we done brought out a plethora of scriptures. We brought out first in James the 5th chapter that told you to be established. Man, you might as well hold that Colossians, man. That Colossians 2, I think 2 and 7.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay? So James the 5th chapter told us to be established. We're reading Ephesians the 6th chapter. It's telling you to stand. Okay? When something's standing upright, It means it's probably rooted deep down into the ground as well. When it's hard to knock someone off his pivot, that means he got a firm stance. Okay? It's hard to cut down a tree. It's hard to de-root a tree because it's standing, meaning it's heavily, deeply rooted into something. And again, reread that, brother.
God, this is 1 Corinthians 15:58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable.
Unmovable, steadfast, go ahead.
Always abounding in
Always
the work
abounding in the work
of the Lord.
Uh-huh.
For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
There you go. As much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord, man. Okay? So therefore, stick your feet in the ground and get ready for that. And get ready for that day of evil, man. All right? But be stuck deep down, rooted in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You know? You got that in Colossians?
Come. This is Colossians 2 and verse 5. For though I be absent in the flesh, yet am I with you in the spirit.
That's right. This is Paul speaking again to the Colossians, man. Paul was a heavy brother. He was a heavy apostle. Okay? He was speaking to the Colossians. All right? Meaning he was telling them, though I'm not literally here right now, I'm with you in spirit. That's why he was telling the Ephesians to put on these spiritual type vestures. Okay? And these spiritual type garments and these spiritual type ornaments. Okay? Again, the Colossians, he wasn't there, but he was speaking in the spirit to them. All right, go ahead.
Come, enjoying and beholding your order.
Enjoying and beholding your order. It's a joyful thing to behold something that's in order. Okay? That's why you should never, never, ever, ever, I'm going to say ever one more time, ever disrupt an order, man. Or go against an order, or envy your brother because he has a position in the camp. Never respect the order, man. Okay? Don't the scriptures say what? Honor the king? That's an order. All right? That is an order. There's levels to this thing, man. There's level. He says beholding, and it says join.
Join and beholding your order.
Join and beholding your order. When you behold something, that means you actually, man, I'm seeing it, man. Man, if a brother from another camp comes here and comes and you know, sees it, they're obviously seeing our camp from a lens from the outside in, and he sees on the outside that, man, these men respect each other, you know, they have a certain type of reverence toward one another, you know, they care about each other. They listen to each other. They take rebuke correctly. They take admonishments and the exhortations. They actually think about it and let it sink in and actually try to conduct it. Man, they in order. Man, I like that. No one likes an untrained dog. And that's facts. No one likes an untrained dog because it doesn't listen to what you say. It's the same thing with men. No one likes an untrained or out of order man, because he's going against the grain of Yahweh Bashem, of what Yahweh Bashem Yahushua set up. Hold 1 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter, I think verse 10, if I'm not mistaken. Keep going, brother.
Come, and the steadfastness of your faith.
Steadfastness of your faith, meaning you're rooted. Go ahead.
And Hamashiach Yahushua. As ye have therefore received Yahushua Hamashiach the Lord, so walk ye in him. Rooted and built up in him, established in the faith, as ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving.
Abounding therein with thanksgiving. That's right, man. All right, but rooted and established in Yahushua. That's what he's telling the Colossians. That's what he told the Ephesians. That's what he told the Philippians, man. The Thessalonians. Okay? That's what he's telling them. Because even when you go into the book of Philippians, I want to say the 3rd chapter, verse 1, he tells you, I'll write unto you again. The same things. I'll write the same thing to you. Meaning he wrote this to the other churches too. Be established in Yahushua. He always was pushing Yahushua, man. But you know, even going back to that order, get 1 Corinthians 3 and 10, I think.
I got it. This is 1 Corinthians 3 and 10. According to the grace.
Start at 9.
All right, kind of. This is 1 Corinthians 3 verse 9. For we are laborers together with Yahweh. Ye are Yahweh's husbandry.
Husbandry, that's right.
Ye are Yahweh's building.
That's right. So you're building what Yahweh told you to do, man. Okay? You're a laborer. You're a worker. All right, keep going.
According to the grace of Yahweh, which is given unto me as a wise master builder.
As a wise master builder. He said a wise, but the point is master builder, meaning he's been doing this. All right, go ahead.
I have laid the foundation.
That's right. So if he's a master builder, a wise one at that, who's been doing this, that means somebody got to follow suit or follow underneath. All right, go ahead, brother.
I'm gonna read that again. This is 1 Corinthians 3 verse 10. According to the grace of Yahweh, which is given unto me as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, and another buildeth thereon. But let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon.
That's right. Let every man take heed of how he buildeth thereupon. But the point of the matter, which is pushing the order in this specific scripture, is that he already laid the foundation. So get into the order. You don't just, I don't like this foundation, I'm gonna do my own thing, which a lot of niggas do. In Israel today, they want to do their own thing. Like they learn this, they're self-taught. Like the Spirit is only dealing with them because they don't believe in an order. Because they're out of order, baby. They're out of order. They're out of whack. Okay? They're discombobulated. The scriptures like to say discomfited. All right? Meaning confused. Okay? But there's already a foundation that's been laid. Just watch how you build upon them. Meaning, watch the order of things. Okay? Simple as that. I'm going to get a precept real quick from the elder Ratazar. Shalom. All right? This is Hebrews chapter 13 and 17. Woo! This is a good one. Hebrews chapter 13 and 17. Obey them that have the rule over you and submit yourselves. Okay? Meaning submit. Meaning fall, submitting is being shamefaced. Your woman should be shamefaced, meaning submitting to you. Okay? All right? For they watch for your souls. That's right. They have been designated by Yahweh Shem Yahushua through the apostles and elders to be ahead of you. Follow it. Okay? You should never get Exodus the 20th chapter, going into the 10 Commandments, covet, and I think it's covet your neighbor. Okay? All right? So I'm going to reread. It says, for they watch for your souls. That's right. They have a specific task, man. They have a specific task to build you, to edify you, to make sure you're not going off. Respect that. Okay? Don't hinder the process. Don't make their job hard. Okay? Because I guarantee if you do make their job hard, the Spirit will find a way to remove your ass, man. We don't need no out of order niggas in the camps, man. It says, as they that must give account. That's right, they must give account, okay? That they may do it with joy. What I just said, don't make it hard on them. Them being in that position, they tell you something, they give you an order, they tell you to learn this, they teach you this, retain it, learn it, do what they ask. So their position, they can be at joy in their position instead of stressful. It's already a stressful thing to be at that type of position in the first place. It is. You ever seen, best example, I don't care, but this nigga Barack Obama, all right? When you get a picture of him, when he took his first picture of presidency in 2008, and then you see a picture of him in 2016, the 2008 one, he looked like I know it was an 8-year term, but he looked 20 years younger than what he was in 2016. He got wrinkles, he got gray hair, because his job was stressful. It wasn't joyful. He put on the front on the camera, all smiling. You know what I'm saying? But in the background, he's like, man, fuck this shit. This is stressful because the American people don't know how to take order. They don't want to listen to the decrees and all that the president pushes. They think the president should be out of the office. Like they could do a better job. It's the same thing here. Like you could do, like you're a younger brother, like you could do a better job leading the camp. Who the Lord already designated to lead the camp. Man, follow order, man. Okay. To finish it off, it says that they may do it with joy and not with grief. That for that is unprofitable for you. So if they're doing this with grief, you gotta look and check on yourself. What am I doing to make his job hard? Man, follow order. That was a beautiful precept, man.
Con.
Do you have something real quick?
I got the Exodus 20 and 17 for you.
Yeah, bring that out real quick, and then we get back to you, brother.
This is Exodus 20 and verse 17. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Okay. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant.
That's right. Reread that in 1 second.
Con.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Exodus 20 and 17. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant.
All right. No. So, Salaki, it says, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Okay? So that thy neighbor's house. So we know the word house means bayah, which means house or dwelling, habitation, shelter, abode of animals. Okay? It says home, house containing a family, right? It says household affairs. All right? So I'm going to get the word affairs real quick. All right? I'm going to make this point. It's going to come all together. I promise you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
All right. So the word affair, a word affair means matters of public interest or importance. It says an event or sequence of events specified of a specified kind, or that has previously been referred to. All right. It says the point, a matter that is particular. That is a particular person's concern or responsibility. All right? So going back to Exodus 20 and 17, it says, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. So that word house by Yah in this, when you put it in the context, means a household's affairs. So meaning one's responsibility. Okay? The word covet in the Hebrew is chamad, which means to desire. Okay, so breaking this part down, it says, thou shalt not desire thy neighbor's, which the neighbor is your brother's, house, which is responsibilities. Fall in line, man. Okay, if you're out of order, thinking you should be in this position or that position, you are breaking one of the 10 commandments in Exodus, the 20th chapter. Fall back, playboy. Simple as that. Sit, take a seat. Humble yourself. Sit down. Be humble. You know? All right? It says, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Meaning you should not desire another man's responsibilities. The scriptures, I think in the book of Sirach, tell you, okay, not to meddle in another man's affairs. Another man's affairs, the head of the camp, that is his affair. The second in command, that is his affair. The third in command, the sergeant at arms, the officers, the disciples, the teachers, okay? Those are their prospective affairs. Do not meddle with their affairs. Respect their affairs, okay? So luckily I'm kind of bad because that thing, the order thing, that irritates me. When someone's out of order, that's not right. You got to get checked. Okay, and the word check means to check the king. We're all kings and priests here, right? Okay, you got a precept, brother?
This is John 4 and 37. And herein is that saying true. One soweth and another reapeth. I can go down 38. I sent you to reap that whereon ye bestowed no labor. Other men labor, and ye are entered into their labors.
And you are entered into their labors, man. Meaning what? You entered into what someone already established. Okay? Do you have a precept, brother?
I was still holding on. We didn't finish the Exodus 20 and 17.
You can finish it out, brother.
Con, I'm gonna just reread it. This is Exodus 20:17. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is in thy neighbor's.
Nor anything that's in our neighbors. That's in your brothers, man.
God.
So don't covet anything that he has or a position that he's in. Just follow suit, follow order. Okay? Just follow suit and follow order. If you're not coveting his position, if you're not coveting the things he has, then guess what? You're probably adding on to the things he has, and you're probably adding on to the position that he's on and making it easy for him. That's what you're probably doing if you keep in Exodus 20:17.
God.
You got something to say, brother?
And that goes back to that Colossians too.
That's right.
You know, taking the order, you know, being joyful. You know, to what you have, to what you should be thinking about it like this. The Most High gave you an order, you know. You know, you in the fight with the Icon. You in the spiritual war with the Icon. And if I can get a quick one for Dr. Shaw.
You can break it down too, brother.
Con. I'm gonna go to Ecclesiastes. Give me a sec. This is Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. You know. So once you have that order and keep that order, that position that the Most High has set up for you, take it. Be joyful. Because we in a time of war. We in that season of war. That's why we was talking about what? The spiritual armor earlier. You know. Being a man in this fight, man. You know. So hold that order because the Most High needs you for that order.
That's right.
You know. He's saying, hey.
It's a great thing.
He's saying, hey, I need you to do this position for me. Babak Shah, you know.
You don't need to say please.
You know, not please, but you know what I mean. You know, I'm just speaking as, you know, as a man.
Yeah.
You know. But he's not, just do it, man. You know.
Yeah.
I gave you my name. I showed you my works through the Spirit. I sent my Spirit on you to do this work. And I gave you a position in this thing. Just do it, man. Because you do it, man. At the end of the day, I'm going to give you everlasting salvation.
That's right.
That those promises, those rewards, man. So just do the order. Just keep fighting for your Habashim Shah, you know? It's a good thing.
That's right, bro.
Take it joyfully, you know? But I'm going to go down to verse 8.
Yeah.
It says, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. You know, we're in a time of war, you know? Be rooted. Take your order joyfully.
That's right.
We don't need soldiers, you know, hey man, I want that position, I want this. No man, we ready to go out and fight, you know? Cause we in the last days. But that's what you got, bro. You got
That's man. You hit it right on the head, bro. That's a good point, man. If the Lord designates you be a private, be the best private you can be. If he designates you to be a captain, be the best captain. A sergeant, be the best sergeant. Okay? Just take your, like you said, take your position joyfully, man. You know, you got a precept?
Okay, I
You
got
can break it down too, brother.
All right, come. This is Romans 12. I started 3. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, because we know all things, you know, ultimately, you know, comes from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, you know, whether the grace, you know, the ability, you know, to have the faith, you know, it was all given from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right, I'm gonna continue on, but to think soberly, according as Yahweh had dealt to every man the measure of faith. I'm gonna continue on. For as we have many members in one body, so, you know, in this thing, you know, in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, you know, it's many members in one body, you know. Every brother, you know, they're not going to have the same gift, you know. Every brother has their measure of faith, you know, their gift that was given to them from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, okay? You know, so you're supposed to cover, you know, what your brother, you know, have, man, you know. And we know, man, that iron sharpens iron, man, you know. If you see a brother may be strong in history, you know, or brother may be strong in prophecy, you know, you wake up there, brother, you know, and you know, you trade talents with the brother, man. You know, be around like-minded men, you know, wise men, you know, and y'all about you now shot. All right? And I'm gonna continue on. And all members have not the same office. That's right, you know, like the brother was just going into, man. You know, there's gonna be officers, disciples, you know. Every member, you know, every octave that's in this body, you know, they're not gonna have the same office, you know. We're gonna have different jobs or responsibilities, man, you know, in this faith, man. Okay? But we just gotta continue the whole fast, man, you know, and not covet, you know, what your brother may have, man.
That's right.
All right?
That's
Beautiful.
I continue.
Okay.
I'm gonna continue on to 5. This is Romans 12 and 5. So we being many are one body in Yahweh Shah, and every one members one of another. That's right, man, because at the end of the day, man, you know, we're fighting, you know, to endure, man, this thing. Lord willing, we be a part of the elect, man. You know, because we know we're one body in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, you know? One body in Yahweh Shah, you know? At the end of the day, we're all trying to get that same reward, man. You know? We're trying to make it up out of here on the chariot, man. You know? We're trying to receive salvation, man. Lord willing, we endure, man. Okay? And that's it.
That's a beautiful point, man. You know, that at the end of that verse, it says that everyone members one of another. Meaning everyone works in cahoots or with together. Okay, at the end of the day, you know. So can you get 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 12, and then read from there. You know, because like the brother was saying, and both of these brothers were saying, take your position joyfully. All right. You know, the reason I want to go into 2 Corinthians the 10th chapter, because it clearly tells you not to measure yourself one to another, compare yourself one to another. You ain't supposed to do that. All right. Even when we read Romans 12, it says it gave you a measure of faith. You know, deal with the measure of faith that Yahweh Shai gave you. Deal with the measure of knowledge he gave you. Deal with the measure of diligence he gave you. And add on to whatever he gave you. That goes back to the parable of the talents. Whatever he gave those men, they dealt with it. They didn't go back and I need a little more. It was like, 2 talents, 5 talents, whatever. I bet I'm going to work with this. You know, it's the same thing in our situation. Oh, you gave me this much faith, gave me this much diligence, and I'm going to work with that to get this faith up. And with that faith, my diligence is going to increase. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to work with it. The water. Just be thankful for it.
It's a perfect flow, you know. You know, if you just do the Most High's will, man, you know. Because at the end of the day, we're going to get the same crown.
Same penny.
This chariot is going to beam us up off the same dirty place, Babylon, you know. So let's just do it for him, man.
That's right.
But that's all I
That's right. We got that. That's a beautiful point. You got 2 Corinthians 10.
This is 2 Corinthians 10 and verse 12.
Yeah.
For we dare not make ourselves of the number.
Or it says we dare not make ourselves of the number. That's why we call ourselves the hopeful elect. Go ahead.
Or compare ourselves with some that commend themselves.
Hey, I'm not comparing myself to this brother. I'm not comparing myself to that brother. And they're not comparing themselves to me. But we're adding to one another. Okay? We're not coveting one another's position. That's why we're working in cahoots right now to do this live stream. All right, go ahead.
But they measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves among themselves are not wise.
That's not wise, man. That is not wise. Okay, then goes into the what? Man, I know more than him. Man, I should be there because I could bring out more I know more breakdowns, man. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many precepts you know. Don't matter how many breakdowns you know. Okay, keep going, brother.
Continue on. This is 2 Corinthians 10-13. But we will not boast of things without our measure, but according to the measure of the rule which Yahweh had distributed to us.
There you go. We read the same thing in Romans the 12th chapter. The faith that was given to you by measure. And he said we will not boast. Meaning what? We're not going to be prideful.
Come.
You know? Keep going, brother.
A measure to reach even unto you. For we stretch not ourselves beyond our measure, as though we reach not unto you.
Get a Sirach chapter, I think chapter 3, I think verse 23, I want to say. Reread that, brother.
All right, kind. This is 2 Corinthians 10, verse 13. But we will not boast of things without our measure, but according to the measure of the rule which Yahweh had distributed to us, a measure to reach even unto us. Salaki, unto you.
Read Sirach chapter 3, verse 21, and then skip to 23.
Come. This is Sirach, or the book of Ecclesiasticus, 3 and verse 21. Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength.
Work with your measure. Work with what's been given to you. Okay? If you're lacking at a certain position, work on it. Or a certain thing in the truth. Work on it. Don't skip ahead. Work with the measure that has been given to you according to 2 Corinthians. Keep going to skip down to verse 23.
Come, verse 23. Be not courageous in unnecessary matters.
Be not, I think it's
curious. Salakia. I'm going to reread that.
Yeah.
Verse 23. Be not curious in unnecessary matters.
There you go. Be not curious in unnecessary matters. Okay? Don't be curious just on a low level. Don't be curious to know what time frame King Josiah went in to fight in the battle of Megiddo. Well, you don't know the forefathers yet. Slow your roll. You know, learn the first things that come first. Okay, it's the same thing in the spirit. Don't do anything above your measure. What they say, that's above my pay grade. That's facts. That's above your measure. Deal with what you've been given. All right, is that it on that?
Law.
Go ahead.
I'm going to continue. It says, for more things are shewed unto thee than men understand.
That's right. Even the measure that you've been given, you're way ahead of the curve than a lot of these people on this earth. You know the name. You know you're Israelite. You know you ain't black. You know you ain't a nigga. You're way ahead of the curve. Okay? You know the chariots speaking about the Lord's vehicles that are going to come to save us. You know Yahweh's name. You know Yahweh's name. Okay? You understand the Holy Spirit. You understand who it's working with. You're way ahead of the curve. Deal with that. Digest that first. It's a measure of things. Do you have a precept?
Okay. This is Hebrews 5 verse 12.
Yes,
For the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of Yahweh, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. Continue on. For everyone that uses milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe.
For he is a baby. Okay? I'm a babe. We all babes sitting up in here, man. We deal with what we're supposed to deal with. Okay? That's facts. I'm not trying to go above my measure. You just build on what you got. Simple as that, man. The ones who are skillful are the apostles and elders, who we learn from. Okay? That's who we learn from. Alright? So don't go above your measure trying to get to theirs. You will fail miserably. Just work with what you got. That's fine. Like the brother said, we all gonna get out of here, Lord willing. And we all, whoever been laboring, that goes back to the parable that Yahweh was talking about with the laborers. They all receive the same penny, no matter how long you've been laboring or how short you've been laboring. You're going to get the same thing, but deal with what you got. And don't covet another man's position. You know? You can go back to the, was that in on that Hebrew?
Let's do number 14. The strong meat bone.
You can hold that. Go back to 2 Corinthians 10 real quick.
Okay, kind of.
Oh, this Most of Rock, chapter 4 and 30.
This is 2 Corinthians 13.
Yeah.
Okay, kind of. This is 2 Corinthians 10, verse 13.
Uh-huh.
But we will not boast of things without our measure, but according to the measure of the rule which Yahweh had distributed to us.
Meaning what? You know what I'm saying? Like, say I got, there's three of us. I got $3,000. Here's a rack. Here's $1,000. I'm gonna keep $1,000. That's distributing. All right. You're dispersing. Okay. Distributing is sharing. Sharing is caring. Okay. So Yahweh distributed faith to each and every single one of the sincere brethren. RV 11:44. Yahweh distributed a type of knowledge, a different type of talent to each brother. Okay, one got more than the other because he knew he could handle that more than another brother could. He gave him a little less, but he knows he's going to work with it. Simple. All right, go ahead. But that's why I said we don't boast. He knows he can give little to that man because he knows he ain't prideful to covet his position. Go ahead.
A measure to reach even unto you.
Keep going.
For we stretch not ourselves beyond our measure.
We stretch not ourselves beyond our measure, what we just read. Go ahead.
As though we reach not unto you. For we are come as far as to you, also in preaching the gospel of Yahweh Shai. Not boasting of things which, Salaki, I'm going to read that again, it's 2 Corinthians 11:15. Not boasting of things without our measure, that is of other men's labors, but having hope, when your faith is increased, that we shall be enlarged by you according to our rule abundantly.
That's right, you can stop right there. But that's right, pretty much, just do the work. Do the work. Okay? You got a precept?
Because you were saying do the work. At the end of the day, it goes back to that Ecclesiastes, I believe the 12th chapter, you know. For the whole duty of man to do the law, statutes, and commandments, you know. Whether his work be good or for good or for evil, just do the work.
That's right.
You know. I know you called on this Sirach, the 4th chapter. You want to still bring that up?
What did I say, 30?
Verse 30, kind of.
What does that say?
Kind of, this is Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach 4 and 30. Be not as a lion on thy.
Try verse 26.
Verse 26. Be not ashamed to.
That's it.
Be not ashamed to confess thy sins, and force not the course of the river.
Force not the course of the river. All right? Meaning don't force something that you don't have, man. Work with what you got, bro. Stay in order. Be diligent. And don't force anything upon yourself that don't need to be forced. You know? You can stop right there.
That goes back to being patient, you know, and discipline. You know, if you know you can't do it, all right, man, I just fall back. But you still got the faith, you know, you're still working, you know, in due time.
Do you have another precept?
That was it on that.
Do you have any closing remarks?
No, you brothers beautifully said it.
You know, so, you know, like I said in the earlier inception of this video, this is just various topics. We just let the Spirit move us to whatever, you know, wherever it moved us, man. You know, it heavily moved on order. You know, it's just a lot of character building, man. You know, don't covet another brother's position, man. That's a whole ass nigga trait. You know, don't be a whole ass nigga. Don't be a whole ass nigga, man. That shit whack. You know, be the best Hebrew Israelite you can be in the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shai B'Shem Chakadash. You know, so with that we do want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shai B'Shem Chakadash. Double honors to the the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who were well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. And again, these are the brothers from the GMS Atlanta Church. And Lord willing, y'all brothers were edified. Until next time, we're going to say shalom.
Shalom.